Okay, that's what I thought. Hey, shout out to Justin cameo back there. Yeah, this is a little intense. Little intense. 1v1 for the money, green flag. So last Elim tourney 1v1, we saw Detail and Real Dill go at it, and Detail with the 1 life remaining at the very end was able to hold that one out. Oh, no, Detail, actually, I don't think it was, right? I think you had 1 life, and Real Dill had 2. Yeah. So no, that's actually it. So last time we saw Real Deal and Detail go at it as the final 2. Detail with 1 life remaining, and he was able to take 2 races in a row off of Real Deal and clutch up that Elim tourney. Now we have a fresh 2 lives each here between Detail and Luke. Both drivers, a little rough idea of the track right there, you could tell. But now we're gonna have a fresh start for this 1v1, so a little bit different than the last one. I thought it was 2-2, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't now. Pretty sure it wasn't because of Lake Michigan, right? I think so. So first lap down. First lap down. Detail is going to lead them down. I like how Shift's like in the middle of the track. But Luke gets a fat run. He might have even led that lap. That was really close. Side by side, up the hill. Detail is going to have the advantage here. He should have the advantage. Can Luke pull out a crossover? There it is. Slight crossover. Not quite able to make any type of run, though. And remember, at this point, Luke's still trying to like acclimate to the track and Detail as well, because even though he's raced it, it's been a minute. But I think this lap they'll have a better run here. So yeah, you could tell. Still kind of feeling it out. Kind of feeling it out. Get through the tricky section there. And the gap is still close, and that's what we want to see in this 1v1. We don't want to see the drivers really stretch it. Want to see that gap stay close and have a really good battle here to the end. Luke with a fat run there, but Detail's going to get it at the end. How's it go to the finish? Whoa! Luke could have had a really fast run right there if he didn't get stuck on Detail's bumper. That could have been a big moment, but he just made contact right at the end there, but still keeping it close. Still like a goose length between them as another lap goes down. Looking very similar to the last lap. Luke potentially a little bit of an opening on the inside. Just barely a nose in there. Keeping it interesting. Not going to want to stay side by side, though, considering the next part. Here they go. Who's going to have the better run here? Looks very similar, honestly. Yeah, both drivers running really clean through that section. Detail a little wide. Luke's got a little bit of a run. But it's going to be another chance at a crossover, maybe. Luke going super wide through the chicane. They're going to settle it out. 1 by 1, still about a 1 goose length gap. Come down another lap. Again, very similar, about a goose length between each other. And Luke with a big run on that last corner. Almost has an edge. But going to have to settle in. Going to be really close. Now getting more of a run. Maybe just a bit of a nose in there. There it comes. Side by side yet again, but Detail's going to have the advantage in the next corner. So he's going to have to settle out. We're going to go into the tricky section one more time. Well, a few more times, but here we come again. Oh, really close. Really close. And Luke with maybe just a slight run. Not quite. Maybe just a bit of a nose. Detail still protecting the lead. Oh, potentially a big run, though. They're going to settle it out. About a goose length between each other to the final corner again. First corner. Detail still trying to protect it. Luke with that run yet again. Getting on the wall, almost like a cushion. And there it is, a huge run. Side by side. Up the hill. Could this be another opportunity? Still side by side. Detail's going to have the advantage in this corner yet again. Oh, keeping it really close. But Detail's going to maintain that lead just yet again. Holding onto it in these super close moments in this 1v1. Another chance here for gains to be made. Oh, unfortunate contact on the rock there for Luke. Makes like the first big mistake here of the race. And we're getting close to the end here. I think 2 to go this time by. So not the best time to make that mistake, but there is time left to try to make a recovery. So he's going to have to really get it in gear right now and try to make something happen. And if he can make just enough gains, he may have a chance like on the last lap to get this interesting again. It's not too far away. He's already maybe like 2 goose lengths behind Detail. This could still get interesting. I think a big factor here is going to be this downhill yet again. Can Luke get a better run this time than Detail? Significantly enough to get him there on his bumper going into the final lap. And keep it clean this time. Yup, clean run that time. Fast into the pole, and he's got he's about right behind him. This is about where you need to be. So this battle's still on. Going for it. Big run in the chicane. Oh, super close. They keep it clean. Detail holds onto the lead. Luke almost off the track. Here we go. Luke trying to make some sort of crossover happen on the final corner. Side by side into the last lap. I believe white flag is out. And this is the best chance Luke has had all race, but Detail still has that right edge. Still just holding on to it, but if Luke can maybe hold on to it going into this corner, here they go, side by side. Luke might have the advantage here. Detail going to try to set up a crossover. Luke's on the way inside. There it is, Detail with the clean crossover. Still side by side. As we go into the final section, it's going to come down to this yet again. Can Luke make anything happen with any of these crazy runs that he's had in this area of the track? He's got to make a pass happen. Really close behind him. Can he get the run? There it is. Can he stick the inside? Just barely. It's going to have to be a crossover yet again. Nope, sticking the outside. He's going to try to set it up for the chicane. Has a big run, but is it going to be enough to the final corner? And Detail's going to hold onto it in the end. Luke takes the second place, and just barely at the end of this race, Detail's going to hold onto it. A super intense opening 1v1. Luke's going to go a life down in the first race of the series. So if Detail wins this, it's over. If Luke wins this, we're gonna get another race. Justin, here we go to the start. And green flag. Already, Luke with the crossover, and this is something that you're gonna see. This is something that you're gonna see throughout this race. The crossovers are gonna be heavy. I can just tell you that already. Oh, the cheese in the wall. Luke goes over the wall, but Detail is going to play it nice for that one, and we're going to get this battle going again. No caution, though. We're just going to keep it going. Immediate re-crossover. Crossover again. This is going to be the entire commentary, by the way. And basically what it's going to come down to here is I think both of these drivers know that this can pretty much just, like, go on forever, realistically. Like, if they wanted to, they could just cross over as long as they want, and that could just be like the whole race. Like it could just play out like that. You might see that play out for a while here, and both drivers are probably trying to like figure out, okay, who consistently has the advantage in the last corner, or like is it close? Because I think that's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to set it up to where they're going to have the advantage, like on the last crossover in 3 and 4. That's how they're going to try to set this up. Another interesting thing is, correct me if I'm wrong, but we raced a version of Chile Season 11. This is not that version where the finish line was actually a bit farther back. A bit farther forward, I should say, actually. And the walls were also, like, the track was completely walled off with the no pits. This is not that version, so I fudged up there. This is not that version. This is the version with the pits open and with the close finish line. And that could make things interesting as well. I mean, you would think in most scenarios it wouldn't make a difference, but I don't know. It could make a difference. The crossover battle continues here. And maybe settling it out here. Maybe settling it out a little bit. So Luke's just going to settle in here on the cushion and maybe try to work something back. Nope. Going to go for the crossover again. Again, trying to set each other up. They're trying to... It's a weird cat and mouse almost situation because both drivers are trying to figure out like who's going to have that advantage, and both drivers want that advantage. Like right there, that would have been a really interesting finish right there, if that were the last lap. But of course, this is Chile, and we're going to have a lot of laps. I think a lead lap counter would also be really dumb for this race. It'd probably be so. I don't know. It'd be interesting. It would show like who had the advantage in 3 and 4 most of the time, but I don't know. I feel like the lead laps might be kind of close. All right, so now we have, again, Luke's going to try to settle out again. Maybe try to work the inside here. Get the crossovers back going, 3 minutes in. I think that it's around 4:30 is when it's around 2 to go, something like that. So we still got a little bit of time left in this race. A little bit of cat and mouse action. That was close. Luke definitely could have done a block pass there, but left just a little bit of opening for Detail to still work the outside. This is getting a little scary here, and Luke's not going to be able to steal that momentum. And now he's got just about a minute to maybe gain some time back on the outside wall here and get back in this fight. He's going to be working the wall, and definitely plenty of time. We still got a minute left, or like 40 seconds left. That's a lot of time on Chile, so it's not over yet, but oh, Detail getting really close with the cushion. Oh no, that is the one that you did not want to see. Gets wide. Luke's going to go for it here. Slides up. Detail's going to go back for it. The crossover battle is re-engaged. Oh, what are they going to do here? Detail does go for the block pass that time. An interesting call, because this is going to kind of reset the battle here with Luke in second. He's going to go for that crossover again. What's the time looking like? There we go. Really close. I think it may be 2 to go this time by. Super close. They're not even going like fully on the cushion now. They're just crossing it over and making it interesting at this point. Potential, what was that? Potential 2 to go right there. Oh, a little bit of contact. Getting rough with it. This may even be the last lap. To the line. No, one more to go. I think this should be white flag here. Final crossover coming out of Yertle. Luke's going down to protect. Okay, my calls are really off here. I don't know when the last lap is. Oh, is it the pistol shots? Is this it? This is it. This is it. Final corner. Super close to the line. And yeah, photo finish. All right, let's go back and look again. So here we have, now that I actually know, that right there is 2 to go. So 2 to go. Ah, shit, I missed some. Keeping it close. You can tell the crossover battle's a little bit different. Luke trying to protect the inside a little bit. White flag here. And then this is where it gets really interesting. Let's go slow-mo right here. So a little bit of contact. They're keeping it tight here going into the last corner. And then this is going to be the last crossover. Luke has to set it up just enough to be able to go down under right there. Gets the opening. A really risky one. And Detail notices it. He goes down to protect. Just enough time. Super close. Side by side to the line. And Luke was able to cheese it just enough to get Detail at the line. And clutch up the Chile race and force the third race. That was an insane finish. That was pretty nuts. And also the wheelie pop at the end. You got to get a shot of the wheelie pop because that's definitely a lot cooler than when they actually hit the line. Definitely a lot cooler. All right. So there it is. Luke is able to protect the wins at Chile Cup. It was really close, but able to take it. And now we're going to be going into a final race, 1 life apiece. See who's going to come out on top. 4 minutes, 2 laps for the tournament. Green flag. Luke with a slightly better jump on or off the gate, but he's going to run the outside berm. Detail immediately going for that inside rumble. Oh, that big conk at the end. That's going to bring Luke back into it. Potential side by side already. Detail's going to settle out that lead. They go into the downhill chicane. Detail with the early lead here in this potential final race. Or not potential. It's going to be the final race, but to see who wins it. Detail with the early conk. Always with the early conk on the sand section. And that's going to give it back to Luke. So a big opportunity here. If Luke can try to hold on to this lead for as long as possible. Gives him somewhat of an advantage. At the same time, Detail's not who you want behind you on Mirabilis, so it's not over quite yet. Through the chicane, first lap down. Luke is going to lead it down initially in this race. Bit of a new section added here. A little bit different. A little bit different. So we go into the first rumble. And Luke conks out of it. That's the I'll tell you right after the race. Luke conks out of it. Going to lose a lot of time there. And that's unfortunate because if he could have hit that clean right there, he could have had a big gap. But that's going to make this race interesting again. Side by side. Into the sand section. Keeping it close. Can Detail work that inside move he loves to do? Oh, goes for it. Keeping it clean, but keeping it interesting. Ah. Detail's going to take the lead back. Coming up the uphill here. Trying to keep it close. About a goose length between the two drivers, maybe two. Through the chicane. And now, down with this second lap, Detail's going to take the lead. Can Luke bring it back in the early portion of the track? As long as he doesn't screw up that first rumble, it's generally pretty strong in the early portion of the track. Seems to be the one area where he can be better. As you can see, yeah, right there, really even run between the two drivers through the rumble. Really close. And then this is Luke's chance right here. Generally pretty good in this section. Yeah, definitely a lot of speed, but not an opening. He needs Detail to potentially make a mistake right there for something to happen. Through the sand section. Keeping it close. Maybe potential for Luke to do the inside move. He's going for it. Oh, a little late. Side by side. Oh, the jump. And he's going to have to settle in behind Detail. Definitely went for it right there. There was definitely an opportunity for Luke there, but not able to make it happen. Not quite close enough. Going to lose a little bit of time ultimately off that, but definitely went for it. So we're going to be closing out the third lap here. With about a 2 goose length lead. Detail trying to hold on to it here. Hold on to the Mirabilis crown and hold on to the Elim Tourney crown. Going to lead that lap down. Oh, shit. So it's going to be 2 to go this time by. It's going to be 2 to go this time by. So I was trying to figure out. Wow. Thank you for the pistol shots. Through the first rumble. Pretty clean for both drivers. Again, this area of the track is where Luke can make gains. See if he can pull it off. Yep, another really fast run through there, but not quite enough. Detail is also strong there. Through the beginning of the sand. Detail is definitely holding a gap, but still workable. Any slight mistake, this could get really interesting. Through the classic cheesy rumble from OG Mirabilis, like one of the few parts of the track that's like intact at this point. It really is, though. It really is. It might be like technically the only part that hasn't been changed. That's kind of crazy. Another lap down, 2 to go, and at the end of it, it looks like Detail has stretched the gap just a little bit more, just a little bit. So again, it's going to come down to these first couple sections. If there is a part where Luke's stronger, it is this area. Can he make some gains here? Strong run in the first rumble. He's got to tie it together here for the downhill chicane. Going for it. You can just tell. Yep, that was a really good run. That was a really good run. Definitely made some gains there, but not quite enough to be right on Detail's bumper. Through the sand section, really loose. Detail maybe a little bit cleaner there. But it's definitely closer than last lap. Luke trying to make it interesting here at the end. Definitely closer than last lap. Nice run through the rumble. And that's probably what he's going to do. He's going to try to keep it close so that he can maybe make something happen in that first section where he's strong. We could see that play out here. Yep, they're getting really close. Almost bumper to bumper, about a goose length between. Going into the final lap of the tournament. Who's going to take it? Detail with the lead. Pressure's on Luke to try to make a move here. A bit of a wide run there, trying to follow him through the last section. But again, this first part is where Luke is strong. Can he make it happen again? First rumble to that downhill chicane. Pretty clean runs right there for both drivers. Downhill chicane, this is where it comes down to for Luke. Yeah, another strong run, but Detail's keeping it clean and not leaving any openings. That was really good. Through the sand. Super close, bumper to bumper. Luke, not enough of a run to maybe make that inside work, and did not make as many gains in the sand section as he did on the last lap. Looking strong for Detail here at the end. Ooh, a little bit of a conk that could have made things interesting, but he keeps it clean. And I think Detail had a really good sand run right there that lap. Probably the best sand run all race. And that might close it out. I think that might close it out. Through one of the final corners. And yeah, he's got the lead. This is going to be it. Detail, the strong performance. Going to close out both elimination tournaments with the dub. Luke coming in second, close by at the end. Let's get the solid screenshot. Come on. And a quick recap afterwards. So here it is. Detail taking his second elimination tournament, holding the crown with the dub there, and the 10 wins on the night, which is pretty nuts, on top of the tournament win. But unfortunately for Luke in second, the tribe has to come out for the last time tonight. Oh, where is it? There it is.
Nick, the tribe has spoken. Yeah.
And cheesed. Alright, so, quick recap. Look at the end here of the Elim tourney. These are the final results. So, at the end, these are the tracks that we got to race. And you can see the lives lost on each of those tracks. And the final finishing order of the drivers, Majestic and Z coming up with those 12th and 11th place positions. Sector rounding out 10th place right there, the top of the top 10. Shift coming home in 9th. Fireball and Vulcan having to leave 8th and 7th. Unfortunate that they had to go. I think it would have made things a little bit more interesting if one or both of them could have stayed. Opix with the 6th place. Real Deal with the 5th place. Hunter with a solid 4th. Slaunch coming on strong with the 3rd. And then Luke in 2nd, and Detail holding on at the end with the dub. And the win column as well. 10 wins and the 6 wins. A bit different than last tournament, because last tournament I think it was like Real Deal was 7, Detail was 6, and Luke with 4, and then maybe like a driver or two with 2. So like a little bit more spread out. Whereas like this was pretty spread out in the heats. But then once we got to like the final races, that's where the wins started pretty much just coming towards the top here. And that's pretty much how it went down. Definitely a much better track variety overall than last time, I would say. We had the 2 ovals, the 3 rally crosses, 4 supercrosses, 3 GPs, a go-kart, 2 arena crosses, motocross. Like we had pretty much had a little bit of everything. And that's where we ended up at. So, solid tournament. Shout out to Real Deal for hosting it, and everybody that participated in it. And yeah, big cheese.